Now let's introduce the idea of final silent E. Here's the questioning. What's the most common letter in the English language? E. Did you know that the letter E is very powerful? Before you might have heard it called bossy E or magic E because of all the things that it does. Now we're going to look at the E at the end of words and all the things that it can do there. Let's first of all write the word cane. What does this word say? Cane. Which vowel is making the sound? A. What sound? A. Is that its first sound or its name? That's its name. Now let's take away the final silent E. If I take away the E at the end of the word, what does it say now? That's right, can. So what sound does the vowel make? A, as in cat. So what did the E do in that word? It made the A say its name. And where did the E come at that word? At the end. And that's why we call it final E. And did E make a sound of its own? No. That's why we call it final silent E. And that is the title of the student's next page. Underneath the title, write the word can. Underneath can, we're going to write some more words. Skip a line and write pet, then pin, then hop, then cut. Now we're going to add final silent E to each of these words, and let's see what happens when we do. Firstly, draw a short arrow from can in the direction that we write. At the end of the arrow, write can again, but this time add final silent E. What word? Cane. This is because final silent E makes a vowel say its name even if it has to jump over a consonant to do it. Draw an arrow from the final silent E to the letter A to show it jumping over the consonant. Now write down the rule. Job 1. Final silent E makes a vowel say its name, even if it has to jump over a consonant to do it. Your students will write down this job, which is also a rule, and then they'll find other words where final silent E jumps over a consonant to make a preceding vowel say its name. Now if you look down your page, you can see what the pattern's going to be, so I'm not going to go through the entire thing with you. Basically, pet becomes Pete, pin becomes pine, hop becomes hope, and cut becomes cute. But you'll follow this pattern for each one of those until it really is deeply ingrained. Let's go on to the next job of final silent E. Now on a new blank page, have your students write the word dance. Your script is, what would this word sound like if we took away the final silent E? The answer is dank. But we want the word dance, don't we? So can you tell me what the final silent E is doing at the end of the word dance? That's right, final silent E is making the C say S. And we touched on this before with the sounds of the letter C. So that's the next job. You get your students to write it down. Job 2. Final silent E makes C say S. Don't put a full stop there because we've got the next bit. Next to dance, write the word large. What would this word say if we took away the final silent E? Right, larg. But the word we want is large. So adding final silent E does what? It's making the G say J, and that's the second part of the second job of final silent E, so let's write it down. Final silent E makes G say J. Now before we go on to the next job, there's something that you should note. Get your students to skip a line and write the word race, and ask them the questions. What would this word sound like if we took away the final silent E? Rack, rhyming with sack. But the word we want is race, isn't it? So can you tell me what the final silent E is doing in that word? That's right, it's making the A say its name and the C say S. In this word, final silent E is doing two jobs. It's such a powerful letter that it can do that. To show you what I mean again, write the word rage next to race, ask the questions. Taking away the final silent E, what would that word become? That's right, rag. So again, final silent E in this word is making the A say its name and the G say J. So let's write that as a note. Final silent E can do two jobs at the same time. And have your students find more examples of this. Have your students turn to the next page and skip a line and write the word due. Take away the final silent E. What would this word sound like? Now at this point, a lot of people will say duh, but let's go back to some fundamental principles. The U at the end of this word is at the end of the syllable and it's falling off the cliff. Therefore, it says you. That word says due. But there's something wrong. What is it? It doesn't look right because, U is an illegal letter. We've covered this before. So, the third job of final silent E is to stop words from ending with illegal letters. So let's enshrine that now. Job 3. Final silent E stops words from ending with illegal letters. Next to due, write have. If we took away the final silent E, what would the word say? That's right, it'd say have, but it doesn't look right, does it? And that's because V is illegal. So there are two examples of final silent E doing job 3. Job 4 is a little more complex, so we're going to read something and then we're going to watch the video.